Hi crafty friends, Shana from ShanoukiArt. I have started yet another project. I was totally inspired by Kelsey Lee from My Abiding Journal. I'll put a link to her YouTube channel in my description box below. And I've decided I also want to do a monthly journal page. So I've printed 12 small photos from my month of January so that I can start documenting my life, 1 month at a time. I've been meaning to do this for a really long time. I have other multiple journals that I've created for this. I just never get around to it, thinking it's all just too much and it'll take too long. But the way Kelsey Lee says it is, you just spend an hour, and it literally took me an hour to do this page once a month. It really is doable. So for mine, I'm actually using this book that I've had for a really long time. It's actually a guest book. You can see it says guests at the top of each page. That doesn't matter. I like the size and shape of it. It'll give me lots of space to do the documenting, but it's not too big, and I think it'll work well. Well, we'll soon see. I'm going to start by trimming my photos. I get mine printed at Kmart here in Australia. You can actually do it online and then pick them up from the store the next day. It's super easy. It is super cheap. It's 10 cents for each of these photos, and I can put 4 onto one. And I'm going to probably stick to 12 photos per month. Let's see how we go. Just a disclaimer, I absolutely have no idea how I'm going to do this and how it's going to look. I've done scrapbooking before, so it might start looking a bit more like a scrapbook. I obviously do art journaling, but I don't want to add any gesso or splatter in this book. I also do junk journaling. I don't want this to be vintage. I just want it to be fun and something that I and my children can page through in coming months and be reminded of the good times. I'm going to start by adding the month in the middle. I'm going to just use a red marker. I don't know why I've gone for red, one of my favorite colors, and just writing January. Of course, the month name can go anywhere on the page. And I've realized the paper actually is quite thin from these pages, and it is going through. I was hoping to decorate that front page with flowers as 2025 at the beginning of the journal. That might not work now, but that's another day's problem. I'm now going to do the placement of my photos. I'm first going to see where they're all going to fit before I start adding any other elements to the pages. I'm trying to roughly keep them in chronological order from left to right. And although they are nice and small, some need to be even smaller. We now need some kind of additional background paper to add a bit of color. I've also got some washi tapes that I might use. I've brought out some bright colored papers, and I've brought some papers in that have red in, which matches the January that I wrote. I really love this one. It actually has a beautiful red sign that says life is good that I'd love to use. And also on the back of that, it has like a red text, which will work great. Because you want to be able to do this sort of in an hour once a month, so it doesn't become too much of a chore and then you're sort of thinking, I don't want to do it. You want it to be quite quick and fun. You don't want to overthink it. You're just going to place your photos down, a bit of background paper, and then do your writing. So I was trying really hard not to overthink it. I just wanted to brighten it up and most importantly, make it fun. I do think that as I continue month by month through this journal, it will evolve and it will have a certain style. At the moment, to me, it feels very hodgepodge, and it is a learning process for me because it's quite different to what I normally do. But I'm excited to see what the pages will look like by December. I'm thinking it should have a certain style by then. This is black and white map washi tape that I have. I want to stick a little bit of that in the background, just for some additional interest. What's great about this is there's actually no rules. You'll do this whichever way you like and use whatever items you have. It'll be a great way to use up stickers if you have, maybe stamps or postcards, just to document the things that happen to you day by day, week by week, month by month. And I'm already thinking, I wish I had started this when my kids were younger. If only I knew then what I know now. But it's better late than never. I've stuck my washi tape down. I'm now going to start sticking down the background paper and then the photo. I'm using a glue stick. I actually wanted to use double-sided tape, but I just realized I've actually run out. I need to run to the store tomorrow and get some of that. For now, I'm going to use the glue stick, and if anything falls off after this, I will just go back and stick it down with double-sided tape. I'm using a few small bits of scrapbook paper just here and there, sort of behind some of the photos, just for a little bit of color and interest. That 2025 photo on the top left is actually a photo of our New Year's cake, and the 2025 is made up of pomegranate seeds. I am Greek, and we make a New Year's cake called a vasilopita. And I used the pomegranate seeds to make the 2025 because the pomegranate symbolizes abundance. Another tradition that we have is that we put a special coin wrapped in foil inside the vasilopita. And once you've cut the cake, the person who receives the coin in their slice is meant to have good luck for the year. I won the coin for 2025. It seems that with these monthly documenting pages that I'm going to create, you're also going to learn a little bit more about me. I'm going to continue sticking all these pieces down. I've got these red school labels that I'm going to use to write on. It's a great little journaling spot. I'm going to use a variety of different pens to write on this just to keep it interesting. I've got the black fine liner pen. I'm also going to use just a regular blue pen and then also some different colored markers. I have this cute flower washi tape. I'm going to put a couple of flowers onto the page. This is actually more to keep the corner down of that left photo that keeps popping up. It wasn't sticking down. I'm now going to go ahead and do some writing. It's not going to be too detailed. It really is just a snapshot. Some photos will have just a heading, some will have a little bit more explanation. For me, it's not really about the details. Any excuse for me to use this washi tape, which is my absolute favorite, and I have found some places on this page to use it. You probably don't know, but I'm also a hobby baker. I love baking cakes. And I baked this one for a lady at my work who was going off to have her first baby. We arranged a little baby shower for her. The cake flavor was chocolate fudge. Yum. It was also my husband's birthday in January. I baked his cake too. My 3 kids started back at school, year 7, year 9, and year 11. I finally have one drop off again. Where I've written Happy New Year on the top left, some of the letters that drop down are going onto the black area of the photo, so you can't really see them. So I'm just using a Tipex pen, also known as liquid paper, and sort of continuing those letters of the P and Y of happy and the Y of year, so you can sort of see it. So it's two-tone. I have these journaling cards that I've had for a while. I have some back to school ones. And there's this one with a stack of books with an apple on top, which I'm thinking I want to use as we had our back to school in January. And then there's also a card with a row of different colored pencils, which I really like. I might use a section of that to symbolize back to school. Like I said, this is a hodgepodge mishmash of things. Cutting off just that top section of the colored pencils, I think I'll just pop them at the bottom under the school photo. I think I need to get a thicker fine liner. I found myself going over all the words that I had done to make it a little bolder. My little stack of books I want on the left. Thankfully, I was able to lift that label very easily and re-stick it down further on the right side space for my little book stack. I'm now using a regular blue pen to do a little bit of writing, just explaining a few of the highlights of the month. And of course, I had to mention that I started Full Deck Challenge 3 in January too. That's a pretty big milestone for me. If you don't know what that is, I'll put a link to the playlist in the description box below. It's basically a challenge where you will decorate or alter 52 playing cards, so a full deck. I had the idea of doing some kind of fireworks by the New Year photos, but I didn't know how to do that. I didn't want to spend too much time, so I decided just to punch out some stars in a bright yellow color and stick that all the way around, and then continue some of the stars to the bottom right of the page for some balance. It may be hodgepodge, but it will be balanced. I also have a small star punch, so I'll make a few little ones too. I'm going to fill that gap just under the word January with some more of those blue flowers from my washi tape. And then I've also punched out some small red hearts for an additional pop of color to continue that red. I used some different colored marker pens and I just made a frame around a couple of the photos in different colors. I did a light blue on the bottom right photo, a yellow around the beach photo, and then a dark blue around the full deck challenge photo. I'm then adding a blue washi tape flower on the left to continue that color across to the other page. I really hope you enjoyed this video of me creating my snapshot of January and were inspired to create your own. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell so you're notified every time I upload new content. Thanks again for watching. Happy creating, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.